right, welcome back to another episode of the Steel Deal. We are officially on Spotify, on
Mhm.
YouTube podcast. We're on Apple Podcast. I think if there's an Amazon podcast, we're on there. We're kind of everywhere. So excited about that. I'm Nick. That's Brad. We're talking Steelers ball. Let's get right into it, Brad. I want to hear your right off the bat. Get to it as if the game just ended. What are your immediate thoughts?
Uh, Disgust. I was watching the game and Faith, my wife, for everybody else, looks over at me from the other side of the couch and she's like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "I'm just really pissed right now." And I hear, "Well, it's just a game." And I was like, "I know, and I'll be fine, but right now, I am pissed."
Yeah, I think that's the best way to describe it. It felt empty. It felt hollow. It felt like I felt after Green Bay. And the only difference was I wasn't at the stadium. I was at my, house thousands of miles away. The fact that they jumped out to a 12-3 lead. I turned to Sarah, my wife, and I said, "This is over. Like this is over." And
Yeah.
and she knows enough Steelers football and she knows enough football in general that she's like, "Yeah, they don't have it tonight." It was a flat out failure from the get go. There are so many things you could pinpoint.
Hmm.
Rodgers had one of the worst games of his career.
Yeah.
Chris Boswell missed a field goal. We should have known right then, just pack it up. Just the things that were done. We've talked about this time and time again. I don't understand why the team will find something that works and then stop doing it.
Hmm.
It doesn't make any sense. There are just, and again, stats. I had a professor in college tell me, he was my stats professor. He said stats always lie. So I want to preface that. The Steelers are undefeated when Darnell Washington gets 40 plus snaps a game. It works. Didn't give him 40 plus snaps.
Yeah. It seemed like he was out on the field more in the first half than the second
Yeah.
half.
The guy's a freak in nature, and we're not utilizing him. And running back splits, Kenneth Gainwell led the running back commit. Like what we were 7 for 26 the last 2 weeks on third down. Jalen Warren was not on the field for a single third down this week. When things are working, when Jalen Warren is looking incredible,
Yeah.
and the jumbo package is working, I understand we were down Isaac Seumalo. I get that, and you had to put in Andrews Pete. I understand you had to make an adjustment, but when things are working, you don't need to just pivot away from them. It finally felt like the defense didn't need to do everything, and the offense did nothing. It felt like the team we've been watching the past 5 or 6 years.
Oh, that is exactly. A buddy of mine sent me a message. I don't know, maybe halfway through the fourth quarter. It's like, man, they're not doing so well tonight. I was like, dude, all those off-season moves, everything they've done, all the wheeling and dealing, and this is the exact same team that we've watched play for the last 5 seasons. Just
Yeah,
change a few of the names, and it's the same result every
yeah,
year.
yeah, and I think that falls back onto the system and the coaches and the organization. The highs are the highs are high, right? When you're a Steelers fan, we've got 6 Super Bowl trophies, but guess what? We don't have a playoff win in how many years?
It's 2016, I believe. Yeah.
Like what? The standard is the standard, Mike. Figure it out.
The standard is pretty low right
The
now.
standard is literally 10 games. If we win 10 games, this team is a walking meme. We've blown a 3-game division lead over the Ravens. At one point, we had 1 week where we were favored to win the AFC North, and now they're back favored. Joe Burrow's 21-day practice window just opened up.
Yeah.
The Bengals aren't too far behind. We have a rough stretch coming up where the easiest team on our schedule is the Dolphins, and the Dolphins just beat the crap out of the Bills.
Yeah. Looking at that schedule, mm, I don't believe they're going to get in the playoffs.
at this point, I would wager that they wouldn't.
7 games is probably the most they'll come away with.
I think because of freaky Tomlin voodoo magic, it'll come down to the last game of the year against the Ravens, and it'll be one of those. It's like not for the division,
Hmm.
but if the Steelers win and the Broncos lose and the Dolphins beat the Patriots, it's going to be like one of those, and either we're
Yeah.
going to get in or we're going to miss it by one, and then we'll do it all again next year. The only silver lining that I have is perhaps this will clean up the talks that I've seen that the Steelers might punt on taking a quarterback this year and roll with Rodgers for another year because you
Can't happen.
cannot keep doing this. The New England Patriots hate them, right? We hate the dynasty. At this point, we respect them. They won 6 Super Bowls in 20 years with the greatest of all time head coach and the greatest of all time quarterback. Okay, quarterback moved on, went on to Tampa, won a Super Bowl. A couple years later, they fired Bill Belichick, right? They hire a new coach. They've drafted another quarterback. That regime's gone. They've hired a new coach and a new quarterback, and now they're competing for the 1 seed in the AFC. They've done their rebuild. They did it the right way, and now they're back on the upswing. And we
Yeah.
can't keep this hovering stuff. It's not working.
I mean, when Vrabel was out there and he hadn't been hired by New England yet, I was like, please fire Tomlin and bring Vrabel in, please.
Yeah.
You know, no, I mean, I almost feel like they're going to need to finish with 6 or 7 wins to open Rooney's eyes and put enough pressure on him to force him to have to do something.
Well, I think it's interesting that you bring that up because I don't think anyone would sit here and say the Steelers are going to fire Mike Tomlin. Again, that's we don't even touch that discussion because we just know it's not going to happen. The fact that there have been minor, minor, minor reports that they're getting a little fed up with the mediocrity, the fact that I've even seen that to me means they're pretty fed up.
Mhm.
They know that they've lost that the luster of the logo of the organization has lost its
Yeah.
brightness. And I I want to give Tomlin credit because he's a Hall of Fame coach. We'll get into the signing of Asante Samuel here in a second. Asante Samuel does not come to Pittsburgh if Mike Tomlin isn't here. Like there are certain things that Mike Tomlin is just going to bring the team, and that is the aura that players want to play for this team.
That's that's what I don't understand right now is all these guys they want to come play for him. We brought in all these defensive guys. Cam
Yeah.
Hayward now is basically saying, "Hey, nobody's doing their job on defense and sticking to, what they need to take care of so that we can play as a unit. If these guys want to play for him so bad, why are they not getting the job done?"
I think that goes back to your earlier point. The names on the back change, but the result is the same. I think we're to me, you play to your players' strengths.
Yeah.
If you got a cornerback who's really good in man coverage, cool, let him work in man. If you got a safety who belongs in the box, put him in the box. Don't drop him back. And the Steelers have constantly played these players on offense and defense out of position,
Mhm.
and they wonder why it doesn't work.
Yeah.
That is a great segue into I don't know if you saw Ben Roethlisberger called out the Steelers last week. Did you see that?
I saw a little blurb about it because Kendrick Green got
Yeah.
upset about
He,
something he
he made
said.
a comment, and it was kind of, in jest. He didn't mean it like, whatever. But he made a comment that, oh, Aaron gets DK Metcalf and all these weapons, and I got a center that never played center before my last year. And he came out like he apologized to Kendrick Green. He didn't mean anything of it. But that's exactly the point. The
Yeah.
Steelers draft and sign these players and say, okay, you're playing in this system. You adjust to this system, not working around it. And sometimes it works, and the players adapt. It worked when Minka came here for a few years
Mhm.
because Miami was playing him kind of in that nickel corner way, and we said, all right, you're gonna be the safety, and it's gonna work. But sometimes it burns us, like when we draft Kevin Dotson out of Louisiana, who was a born and raised Steeler fan, and then we kick him to the curb 2 years later, and he's a borderline Pro Bowl player for the Rams because they're playing him on his natural side. So it's just like,
Yeah. And he just admitted or in an interview last week, he said, I just couldn't adjust. He's like, I was just out of my element there. The
yeah,
cold weather. He's like, I'd
yeah,
always lived
yeah,
in warm ways. So I just couldn't. I needed to be out.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. So
somebody need to use him the way he needed to be used too.
that's just my whole point. My rant ending there. I understand that your system's going to work. Your system has to work as a coach. That defines you as a coach, but you can't not get the players just for their talent and then they don't fit and then you blame the players. It's like, no, your job as a coach is to fit the players into your scheme
Mhm.
and to make your scheme work. And I think that's the issue. I think you're having guys who are playing not necessarily out of position, but not to the best of their abilities. And I think it's showing.
Yeah, and what with Broderick Jones?
Yeah.
They moved him over to right tackle and juggled him around all over the place for his first 2 years,
Yeah.
and he's totally out of position. He's pretty much settled in now. He's doing a lot better than he did it right. But when
Yeah.
they drafted Troy, they're like, absolutely not. He is not playing left tackle. He is a right tackle, and that is
Yep.
where he's going to stay. It's like, well, why didn't you have that same attitude with Broderick?
Right. And it didn't make sense because Troy was a left tackle in college.
Yeah.
And the thing with Broderick, yeah, Broderick's not playing at a Pro Bowl level. He's playing at a, I would say like a decently, probably like replaceable level,
Mhm.
which is fine if this was his first year playing left tackle for us. If we just draft, it's his third year. So like the clock, he's on the clock. Like we have to
Yeah.
decide if we want to pick up his option this summer. And it's like, what do you want to pay a guy? Because the way that the option is, it's the weighted average of like the top 10 salaries at that position, I think, something like that. So are we going to pay this guy like $22 million? It's just like these are the things that make me wonder. And this is the part of me that's like, I really want Mike Tomlin to retire and to stay with the organization. Like I want Tomlin to be a Pittsburgh Steeler in the organization because I think he makes that much of a cultural impact on
Mhm.
the team, on the energy. But we've got it. We
Just must be really good to hang out with. That's all I can
yeah,
say because the coach.
absolutely.
But
Yeah. On the topic of coaching, I thought Arthur Smith called one of his worst games I've ever. I mean, he's been with us for 2 years, and
the game's passed that cat by. I mean,
I I think it works, but when it's not working, he can't adjust.
yeah.
That's the problem. And but again, that's been the Steelers' thing. It feels like since the Ken Wisenut days when we had an actual offense, and then moving into Bruce Arians and then
Todd Haley.
Todd Haley. Yeah, thank you.
Mhm.
Um, we could do stuff, and then ever since then, it's like, oh, it's not working. All right.
Yeah.
Collinsworth made a call, and he said there are teams that when the run, and I'm paraphrasing this, I might be getting it wrong. He said there are teams that when the run game isn't working, they'll pivot and go to the pass game. He said the Steelers are not going to do that. They are going to continue to run the ball. It's like that. It's not working. So
I'm a big
that,
believer in running, but sometimes you've got to pass to set up the run. You've got to be creative. You can't
yeah,
just, line up and, try to bulldoze everybody because I mean it's the pros. I mean,
yep.
the same thing's not going to work over and over again.
No,
You got
you,
to
you gotta
vary
you
your
gotta try new
approach.
stuff. Yeah, we did that screen to Fryermuth, and you had Broderick and Troy Fatanu out there blocking for him, and we picked up like 10 yards. I'm like, sometimes a short screen is a run, as you said.
Oh yeah.
It's a run is not just you know here's the pin drop to Jalen. Hope you pick up 4 or 5 and don't get injured on the way out there.
Mhm.
It was just a rough night from the start. Again, a lot of stuff, but we should have known from the start. 12-3 just felt like too big of a lead to overcome.
Oh
Rodgers
yeah.
took that awful safety. He had Pat open. If you watched all 22, Pat was open, and he didn't. He did. I don't know if he didn't see him, but the pocket was clean. He stepped up. He thought he had less time than he did, and he stepped into the sack. And thankfully the Chargers didn't get anything out of it out of that drive.
I saw
But
Rodgers play one game last year, and it was when the Jets played Pittsburgh. He played in that game, right?
no,
I thought they
yes,
came to Pittsburgh on like a Sunday night, and it might have been his very first game back or something like
it
that.
might have been. I don't know.
But in a friend of mine told me he's like he hit a wall last year. This is the
Yeah.
his body's done, and you can see it in his body language. He's done. He didn't want to get hit. He didn't want to stand down and face a linebacker coming at him and sling the ball. He wants to get out of the way, and he's thinking about retirement. He don't want to be in a wheelchair.
He's 42 years old. I mean, that's that. Someone asked him after the game, "Oh, how was this? Could be your last game in California. Where he's from." And he said
Oh,
Southern California. And everyone's like, and the reason he prefaced that is because the Super Bowl is not in Southern California. The
oh
Super
my!
Bowl is. So it's like, okay, all right, all right, all right, Aaron. Okay. All
Where
right.
is the Super Bowl this year?
I almost said Candlestick, San Francisco,
Oh, is
where
it? Oh, okay.
I think it is. What is the name of that? Levi's.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
Levi's. All right. I want to get into a couple just notes here. I talked about Ben calling out the Steelers.
Hmm.
I I don't think he's wrong in saying that, but also he had prime Antonio Brown and prime Le'Veon Bell. Ben
Yeah.
had
I
weapons.
mean,
I think it was more of like and on Rodgers' swan song, he gets this. On mine, I get nothing, which completely agree.
if
Completely agree.
if I were Ben, I would be complaining that after Super Bowl 45 that they didn't turn over that roster and keep
Yeah.
them in true Super Bowl contention and start getting rid of some of those vets and bring in
Yeah.
young blood.
Yeah.
Quit hanging on to these guys just because, your pals in the locker room or whatever it is. I mean, you got to keep churning that roster. They didn't do that. And then
No.
they like limped to 12-4 records the next two seasons.
Yeah, I think part of the issue with having watched, I mean, consciously watched 2 decades of Steelers football. Obviously, I've watched it my whole life, but consciously watched when we have an issue, and I'm going to use two examples here. When we have an issue, we attack it, right? We're throwing everything at it.
Mhm.
And 2 points I'm going to make are the defense and the offensive line.
Yeah.
Okay. In the Ben's prime, you want to say like 2009 to 2000, what, 15, 16, right? The defense was like going down, right? All the talent left, right? So instead of like kind of just stocking as you go, they just didn't. And they kept investing and building the offense, building the offense. And then the defense was so bad. So then they had to spend 7 years building the defense. You
Yeah.
look at first round picks, there's like 7 years in a row where it's a defensive player.
Mm.
And then they did that for 7 years. And they said, well, shoot, our offensive line is terrible. All right, we got to invest 4 straight years in first round picks. And you do that, and all you're doing is moving your chips from one side of the table to the other
Yeah.
instead of balancing out the talent. And that's just my issue with kind of how we build the team. We're hitting on some late round guys, but not. I do think Omar Khan might be changing this. If you look at his draft history, it's pretty remarkable.
Him and Weidel, I believe they're a good pair, but
Yes.
they got to keep Tomlin's nose out of it because I believe Tomlin's the reason Slay came in. I mean, Samuels, yeah, I believe he's fine if he's going to play free safety the rest of the season. Yeah, great. Quit moving him
Talk about
around.
talk about Ramsey.
Yeah, yeah, Jalen
Ramsey.
Ramsey, if Donald
Yeah.
Samuels, but yeah, I mean, yeah, build through the draft.
Built through the draft and plug and play with your free agents.
Yeah,
I'm not
which is
saying
what they used to do.
which is what they used to do. I remember when we got so excited when we signed like a tight end to a 2 year, $8 million deal. Everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, the Steelers made a big move," and it really felt like crazy. And now we're investing heavily in free agency on pieces that may or may not work out. Patrick Queen had a really good start to the year, and now he is faltering.
Yeah,
The missed tackles are insane. I, Maybe it's a miscommunication issue. They're still trying to get it figured out. I don't know, but
they're past that. It needs to be figured out by now.
it does need to, and maybe they need to have Jalen Ramsey give another speech. I don't know. Something got to change. All right, let's talk about we signed Asante Samuel,
Hmm.
which is massive. I also thought it was notable that we worked out C.J. Henderson. He played for us technically 2 years ago, last year maybe. He was a former first round pick, ninth overall by the Jags in 2020. So ironically, he was kind of like their Ramsey replacement.
Okay.
Didn't work out. I think he got traded to the Panthers in year three, flamed out, went to the Steelers, was on the Falcons practice squad. But the fact that they were working him out and we signed Asante Samuel, I think we know we're looking for defensive back help,
Oh yeah.
which is good, but also address these problems earlier. And, none of us thought Darius Slay was going to be a cornerback too.
That should have never happened. Man,
Yeah.
I was fine bringing him in if he were a coach on the sidelines and he came
Yeah.
out 15 plays a game in nickel sets or something, maybe 20 plays, and help bring these young guys along. But as a starter, no.
He's been injured every game. Every game. It's incredible. A note on Asante Samuel, obviously son of Asante Samuel Sr. Um, the Steelers doctors performed his surgery. So I thought that was interesting. So they know in-house what that looks like.
Uh-huh.
Um, I think that's good news. He's
Was
got
it
the
some kind
talent
of
to be
spinal surgery or something?
yeah, something like that. He's got the talent to be, I think, a high-end cornerback two,
Uh-huh.
uh, low-end cornerback one, probably in that Joey range where it's like he's not going to lock you down, but he's an impact player.
Yeah.
The injuries are a concern, but that's with everyone. So
Yeah, he was just basically brought in off of waivers, so it's not like they
yeah,
probably invested that much.
yeah, we waived one Thornhill.
Mhm.
And so we throw back to the draft. We drafted Sebastian Castro, a seventh round pick, a safety out of Iowa, who had early round potential in his talent, but injuries and some other stuff knocked him down. He was kind of blocked, ironically, by Miles Killebrew because he kind of plays that same role.
Oh, okay.
And the week that Killebrew went down, though I should say that the Sunday he went down, Castro was signed to the Buccaneers. To their active roster. So we
Yeah.
couldn't even bring him up. Kind of a bummer. A bunch of the Steelers reporters were like, "Dang, we drafted this guy to be Miles Killebrew's replacement, and now we need that." The Bucks waived him, so we signed Sebastian Castro back, and we waived Juan Thornhill. I want to make a note on this. I don't like bashing former Steelers, whatever, on social media, like on their personal accounts, if that
Uh-huh.
makes sense. And I say that so, TikTok, scrolling through TikTok, and Juan Thornhill's wife, girlfriend, I'm not sure,
Oh no.
posted a video, and it was really funny. It was the clip, and I think it's from Friday. He's like, "How are you going to get fired on your day off?" And Juan Thornhill was in the video, right? He's in the video, and it's funny, whatever. And like, go to Juan Thornhill's profile, and everyone's like, "Get out of Pittsburgh, you're despicable, like
Oh
we never wanted you here," like just kind of like rude and hateful stuff. I'm like, the guy didn't do anything bad to you. He just
no. I mean, he
wasn't an
was,
elite player.
yeah, it
Like
just didn't work out.
it just didn't
Yes.
work out. I'm sick of people treating these athletes like they're not human beings.
Yeah.
Like
And that
just because
runs
a guy
rampant
doesn't
on
work
social
out.
media.
Yeah, just because a guy doesn't work out on the field doesn't mean he's an awful person.
Yeah.
Like there are awful people in this league who do deserve that. And I don't think Juan Thornhill's one of those. And like I said, it just kind of bothered me a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, it's
He'll probably go to Cincinnati now because they do need help in the defensive backfield, and watch him like start on
want to
Sunday.
see Pittsburgh's playbook?
Yeah, here it is. It's two plays. It's TJ get him or Highsmith get him.
Yeah.
That's it.
Wow. Yeah.
Um, on Highsmith, he is the only. I'm going to botch the stat. He's the only Steeler in history to get 2 sacks in back-to-back games.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
TJ didn't do it. I know. I could be getting that wrong again. Alex Kozora, I think, pulled that.
I've got
Um,
linebacker names going through my head right now going, he didn't, what?
yeah, I guess you get one. It's like, oh, cool, I got a sack, but you didn't get two. So, did you notice anything, just around the team this week, just noteworthy? You thought?
Uh, no. Well, before, yeah, I was talking about all the injuries with the Chargers line.
Yeah.
You know, two backup tackles. The right tackle is completely out of position because the backup right tackle was hurt also. So they shuffled another dude over there, and I was like, this is. I even heard the stat towards the end of the week. We lead the league in 3-and-outs.
Yeah.
Lead the league in 3-and-outs, and I was like, it sucks. Maybe we drop this game. I was like, no, our defense is going to annihilate that offensive line if they've got that many guys out of position. So I even told Faith, I was like, pick the Steelers for this week. She had picked the Chargers in her office pick them. Well, if the Steelers had won, she would have won the pool this week. The Steelers lost. She did not win the pool. I was like, I am not saying anything the rest of the season. I'm sorry.
I
So,
mean, We said it last week. This is a game we should win, and we're probably going to lose.
Yeah. And it was Friday afternoon. I'm looking around because I told you I've got tons of Steeler jerseys, and I'm like, where are those jerseys? Because we've moved, and I'm not exactly sure where everything is.
Yeah.
Just a little few things here and there. And I'm looking around, and I opened a closet here in my office, and I'm like, I look to the right, and there they are. And there's like 20 of them lined up in this. We have this really old house, and the closets are like this deep, so they're all at an angle in there hanging
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
And I was like, maybe I can wear one of those for the next podcast.
And then you decided no.
But yeah, it's like, yeah, they lost. They're not getting that. No.
I get it. No, no. Yeah. For the audio listeners, no Steelers jersey for me. I'm repping a different disappointing black and gold team. That is
Oh,
the App State Mountaineers, who have just been front row seat on the struggle bus all year long.
oh man.
And we play the number 24 team in the country on Saturday, conference opponent. So who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah, just all around disappointing black and gold. But again, I do want to preface all this by saying, go back to the first episode that we had. We did not have high hopes for this season.
Yeah, that's true. It's
We didn't. And that's how sports works. They pull you in, they
Mhm.
slap you around, and then you leave and say thank you.
Every single time they win one game, and we're like, this is it. It's going to happen. They're going to get on a
Yeah.
roll. And then they
Yeah.
win three games in a row, and you think, okay, this is real now. And then it's
Yeah.
all said, bam, 1-3
Well,
over the last four.
and what's crazy is we beat good teams. We should have beaten Seattle, which is one of the best teams in the NFC. We beat the Patriots,
Hmm.
which, again, either one of those games could have gone either way.
It came down to the other team playing sloppy ball or the turnovers. I mean, we can't,
Yeah.
our defense can't put a brick wall in front of somebody and just stop them. TJ was talking about it. He's like, we got to be able to win games without getting turnovers because we're not always going to get those.
Right. And again, I thought the defense played well. Did you see the stat that they popped up on Sunday night about the chip rate and the double team rate on edge rushers?
No, I missed that.
So TJ's been chipped like 105 times this season, right?
Wow.
The next highest is 62.
Holy smokes.
Like, so yeah, he's not TJ Watt of 2021. I get that. But the
Yeah.
dude is still a top five edge rusher. He's just
And he's
getting,
just another facet to his game because that the run around him with the shoulder dip that he
yep,
likes to do and the tomahawk, he
yep,
doesn't have that kind of speed anymore. So
yeah.
you need to develop some bull rush. And I mean,
Well, and that's what I think that is the only, when you look at the big picture and obviously the Myles Garrett, TJ Watt debate, TJ's strong. Like he's stronger than I am. Like I'm not saying he's not strong, but compared to some of these other guys, compared to his brother, compared to
mhm,
Micah Parsons, compared to, Myles Garrett, he's not going to run up the middle and push you back. He's just going to make you miss on the outside. And I think you're just starting to see that. Again,
mhm,
I don't really care that we paid him that much because we're not doing anything anyways. Like until we have a quarterback. If we had a actual quarterback, not saying Rodgers is the reason we're losing. He was the reason we lost last on Sunday.
mhm.
If we had an actual quarterback, I'd be concerned that we're paying this money, but we're not. So again,
Yeah,
I've said it a
and
few times. You're playing with house money right now.
yeah, if we draft a guy, even if we draft a guy in the first round, he's going to be on a 5-year deal,
Yep.
most likely. And you're not going to be putting that much money into him. So, and then
Yeah.
by the time he's up for his contract, TJ will be retiring. So,
Yep. Yeah. I mean, that's what's so sad, man. It's like, man, in 5 years, TJ Watt's not going to be on this team. Cam Hayward's not going to be on this
I
team.
tell you, it's got to suck for some of these guys that come in and they play for a storied franchise that has 6 Super Bowl wins and all this notoriety.
Yep.
And they're in an era where they couldn't do squat.
Yeah.
It's like some
And
of those 80s Steelers. They had so many, they
yep.
had some good guys back then on a lot of losing teams, but
Hmm.
they don't have anything to show for it. As far as
Yeah.
rings or even playoff wins for that matter for some of them.
Well, and I feel like as Steeler fans, we are spoiled. Like to me, an AFC North championship doesn't really mean a whole lot.
Mm-mm.
Like there are some teams, and again, I say this as a Panthers fan as well. It's like, oh my gosh, let's go. We won the NFC South. I'm excited. For the Steelers, it's like, all right, that's cool. Win a playoff game, and
It's
and
all
that's how
about
it's going to
playoff
be.
seeding. If they win
Yeah,
the division, okay, well, where are they going to be seated?
right. And that's all that matters for the Chiefs. If they don't make it to the Super Bowl right now, like that's a failure of a season. If the Bills don't win the AFC Championship, it is a failure of a season.
That
So I
team
think
is I don't know that they're the threat that I expected them to be before the
the
season
Bill,
started.
to me, the Bills are like the direct opposite of the Steelers, where it's like their quarterback is so good, so good, he's going to make up for the differences that the rest of the team has. Like
And
they're
then
kind
when
of
he can't,
average. Yeah, they're kind of average in a lot of things. I don't think they're great on offense.
mhm,
Without like take Josh Allen out, and oh my gosh, you might lose every game.
yeah,
But the Steelers are like, we're all really good. We just need a quarterback. Like if it's just like you need the marriage of the two teams. Ironically, the college teammates in Mike Tomlin and Sean McDermott, they were college teammates at
yeah,
William and Mary,
yeah, William and Mary.
which is so cool. Like I'm like, can we just marry the two teams? Because then I feel like we both get what we want. Just give me Josh Allen. That's all I want.
Then we've got these. There's a little bit of bubbling here about Tomlin. The Giants might try to poach Tomlin.
I
Have you
think they're going to go after
heard that?
Belichick. I don't. That's a great segue into the next thing. In a hypothetical world, and we got 5 minutes left, so let's make this quick. In a hypothetical world, the Steelers move on from Mike Tomlin. Okay,
Mhm.
I don't know who out there I want as a head coach. There's no like superstar coordinator right now.
Yeah, that they spoke really highly of that D coordinator for the Chargers Sunday night.
Yeah, they
Said
did.
that
They
he
did.
is.
Jesse Minter, absolutely, and he would probably be like the closest thing I could think of because he's succeeded everywhere he's been.
Yeah,
But he's still. I mean, I'm going to say this. He's young. Tomlin was young. I
he was
get
what
that.
36 when he got the job. Cowher was really young when
Yeah.
he got hired also.
Yeah, but I look at the landscape. I'm like, okay, we're not hiring a college coach to be head coach of the Steelers. Like that's just not the Steelers are
Yeah,
not going to do that. They're going to hire a proven guy. I just don't think there's a lot of guys out there. I
yeah,
do think the Tomlin trade talk will never die down because he is. I think he will stabilize any team.
yeah.
So I think like a team like the Dolphins. If I'm the Dolphins, I would legitimately try to trade two first round draft picks for Mike Tomlin.
Hmm.
Like I think there's so
Take
many
that.
teams out that two. I think there are teams out there that should absolutely call the Steelers and trade for Mike Tomlin because I think he can 100% stabilize a franchise.
Hmm.
There's nothing wrong with that, and I think with the right pieces, he will get another team to the Super Bowl. I don't dismiss that, but he's stuck in this rut with us where he can't get a franchise quarterback and he's not a bad enough coach to be in that spot. So it's just this hovering around mediocrity, and it's a lesser version of Belichick where he's kind of hurting his own
It's a stale
resume.
message.
Yeah, it's just he's hurting his own story here.
I mean, look what happened with Andy Reid. I mean, he had so much success with
Yep,
Philadelphia. You got him to the Super Bowl, those four straight NFC championships, but never got the ring. And they're like, okay, we're going to move on. He goes to
yep,
Kansas City and look what he did when he got there. I mean,
yep,
holy cow.
yep. And now he's one of the greatest coaches of all time. All right, real
Yeah.
quick, Steeler of the week for you. What do you got?
Uh, Jalen Warren. I mean,
Okay,
that guy, he leaves it on the field no matter what. I mean, you can
yeah.
just see it in his play.
Yeah, I'm going to say James Pierre. I think Pierre's really played well this year. He's kind of moved
Mhm.
himself into that cornerback
Yeah.
two range. Undrafted guy. It's like his
Yeah.
fifth or sixth year with the team. I think he's played well. He's also one of my winners for the week.
He's been
Another
cut a
winner.
lot too. And he
Yeah.
just keeps coming back.
Yep. Another winner for me is Tomlin's meme faces. Just
We'll find
the
one for
one.
the thumbnail this week.
Oh my, yeah, yeah, drop it. A loser. I'm gonna go Aaron Rodgers. I thought he just again he stunk it up. He looked like a 42-year-old guy trying to play quarterback. And another loser would be our playoff chances. I think I can't verify this. I've seen two different stats. I've seen 46% and I've seen 33%.
I
But
saw
either way,
33 Sunday night.
yeah, either way it has dropped. So, all right, give me your two winners and two losers, and then I got one more thing for you.
Oh, winners. Oof, man, that is tough. I mean, Firemouth for still catching, getting out there and staying consistent, if unspectacular this week. Uh, the other Roman, I mean,
Yep.
he put another touchdown. It might have been junk time, but hey, he still did something to keep, getting the coach's attention. Yeah, he could
Yep.
have dropped that pass. He could have done
Yep.
something dumb and
Yeah.
could have completely went in the tank from last week, fumbling the ball. But he caught one at the end of the game and got it in there, got open. So losers, Rogers. Yeah. uh, the defense. I mean, they helped us. They held us in the game some, but they gave up a lot on third down, and they
Yeah.
don't play as a unit. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't understand what it is. Is it ego or what? I mean, in that touchdown to was it McConkey's that guy's name with
Yep.
the Chargers?
Yep.
Duggar gave up that touchdown. I mean, there
Yep.
was a drag route from the other side that both linebackers had. He stepped inside with them and he ran right up the slot. I mean, it was an easy score. If you go back and
Oh,
watch
that
that, I mean, he
yeah.
stepped in the wrong direction immediately.
Single high safety. It doesn't work, and we're going to continue. It does not work on passing downs, and we continue to trot it out. It's not going to work. It doesn't. I don't care. You could have Troy Polamalu and Ed Reed combo as one person back there. All the quarterback has to do is throw it to the other way, and it's fine. So
Yeah.
it baffles me. Okay, last thing. I kind of want to make this a recurring segment here. I'm going to read you a sentence, and you tell me if Mike Tomlin said this or he didn't say it. Okay.
Okay.
You can't microwave growth. You have to let the pain marinate.
Oh my God. Yes, he said it.
He did not say it.
Oh,
He did not say it, but it feels like a Tomlinism.
yeah,
So
it does.
I'm gonna try to create one each week and just
Okay. Yeah, I
see if
haven't
we can
watched a
figure it out.
press conference in ages with him or even
Yeah,
read one for that matter. I just
yeah.
clips here and there. So,
Well, all right. Let's call it another good episode, another good talk.
yeah,
Let's
man.
another good therapy session, and we will be back next week for more ball.
Absolutely. See you, folks.
See y'all.